So a very interesting thing with this watch is that I think the hype has finally eclipsed the product. Now this has been the case for a lot of watches, but I think this would be the first piece where there's a large percentage of people, not the majority, but still a large percentage, that agree that this is actually not a real representation of any form of value. Now, us watch enthusiasts, we're all a bit daft when it comes to the value of things, because we collectively agree to be stupid on this matter, and we collectively feel that multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars represent value in certain watches. Objectively, this is nonsense, but since we're all in it together, since the majority of people are willing to be stupid together, it kind of makes sense. This watch would never trade hands at anything below multiple hundred thousands of dollars. And this is a steel 5711 that retails at about 52 grand, which is already quite a bit above the 35 or so that the 5711 does from Patek. But these numbers are quite irrelevant because you can't get these pieces for the most part anyway. In the watch dealer space, I've already seen that certain clients are willing to pay $1 million to get their hands on one of these. What really sets the market with this is going to be the auction sale. So on December 10th, very soon, 3-4 days, the first Patek Tiffany Blue 5711 will be auctioned. And that is very important to the Tiffany OP market, because they've got very similar dials, and if the Patek one does extremely well, which it will naturally, that's simply going to push up the OP market. So if you're in the market and you're debating whether you should get the Tiffany at these already heightened prices, so about 20 grand US, or just a bit under or more depending on when you're watching this video. If you're debating on that and you're watching this video before December 10th, I think it's a good idea to get it now. Now that's just a subjective opinion. I can't guarantee that the market will go up, but it just seems logical to me, because when the hammer goes down on December 10th, I'm assuming the Tiffany Patek will hit some sort of record-setting numbers, because we already saw the green dial to do above 400k, and that's not all that specifically limited. You don't know how many pieces exactly are going to be made. It's the final edition, but well, not anymore really, because this is the real final. So as soon as that goes down and there's a lot of buzz and a lot of news about that, that's going to really uplift the market. At least I believe so. Even though the market for the OP41 Tiffany is the highest it's ever been at this point, and it's much higher than the other OPs, and it's close to essentially the GMT Masters. So basically, if you're in the market for this, hurry up, get it now, get it before the auction goes down, and I'm quite sure in the week after there's going to be a significant rise in the Tiffany OP prices. So what are the final thoughts on this piece? Well, one thing I didn't speak about is the case back. Now, the main thing behind these 5711s is the movement and the finishing. That's kind of what you're paying for, but with this marking on the glass, it kind of dulls the aesthetic a bit. Of course, they have to do something to differentiate the regular 5711 and the Tiffany ones, but I don't know if this was the move. They could have done something a lot better. They could have actually engraved something somewhere on the bracelet or the lugs on the underside so it's not seen. But they didn't go with that extra step and just a simple printing on the back with that cheeky LVMH. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. Nevertheless, everyone with the capital to buy this doesn't care about these things, because it's technically an investment. It's very unlikely for the person to wear it in the first place, and it's just, I need to have that. I can afford it. It's just that when it comes to this, it's not so much horology, it's just that pure collecting craze. Now, is it reasonable to pay $1 million for this? Well, like I mentioned, we're all a bit daft, but we're in it together. So it could be profitable to still do that. It's really because of the hype and how it makes you feel better about yourself, not so much anything to do with the actual watch. Of course, the aesthetic has to be something differentiated, and more importantly, it has to be limited. But I mean, most of what we're doing with Rolex and Patek, AP, any of these brands, it is hype and good marketing over anything else. And it's a huge part of it is all of us being daft together. So let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. If you really like this piece, say why.